Check 2, 3.
Welcome to our live Facebook broadcast here at the Patch Studio in Spencer, West Virginia. And this is Help Desk with Joe, show 51. And with me, as always, Joe and Justin, where we talk technology and all the good things that go into keeping yourself safe and utilizing your technology to the best of your abilities and the best of Joe's abilities, really. So
Asking a tall order there.
That is, yeah, it is. So, Joe, show 51. Got a lot on the docket today.
Yes.
And Justin, as always, he's cruising trying to find something.
Yep, last minute trying to
find
something to contribute.
Yeah.
There.
Justin's like me. He works better under pressure.
Yeah, and at the last minute.
Yeah. Hey, I passed college because I was doing last minute stuff.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been in that situation.
Well, no, yeah, but this was intentional, though.
All right. So we're going to start out today talking about Spotify.
Yes.
I like Spotify. I utilize Spotify all the time.
I was going to say, you actually had the paid subscription, right? Do you
Yeah, I think I have the family deal or
Okay.
whatever it is, yeah.
So what if I told you for a few dollars more a month you could get an even higher audio quality? Would that entice you?
No. I
Okay.
could care less.
Okay.
I usually listen to Spotify like when I'm jogging or something along those lines where how could it get better? Well, so here's the reason I say no is because I got to think that the factors involved with quality would involve A, what kind of reception you have, and B, what kind of listening device you're listening through, because how could it get any better than what my headphones will bring me?
Well, now
sense?
that does play a role in it, but your headphones actually play a large role into this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it plays a big role in it as well. It's a multi-layered. It's kind of like an onion. It's
Yeah.
multi-layered.
Well, that's what I mean. So to get better quality from Spotify, if I'm using cheap earbuds, then does it really matter what quality Spotify is?
Yeah, but if you're listening at home on your surround sound or speaker system.
Nah, I don't do that.
Okay.
So probably long answer to a very short question. No. But, hey, do your best to sell me.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, if you're a customer of Spotify and when you'd like an even higher quality, higher fidelity audio quality for your music, get ready. It's coming.
Ooh.
So, the popular music streaming service Spotify is going to start offering its Spotify HIFI subscription later this year.
Hi-fi. Man, that's a term from the 70s.
Yeah.
Getting hi-fi.
And so the music's actually going to be at CD level quality. So it's not going to be as compressed as a standard MP3 is what you're used to listening to. And so it is actually one of the most requested features by Spotify users, the company said during its Stream On event on Monday.
What?
Yeah.
That's the most requested?
Yes.
The quality.
Yes.
That amazes me. Huh.
A lot of audio buffs out there.
Yeah, but what are you really missing?
I always thought it was bunk too, Dave, but if you actually do a side-by-side comparison, you'd be surprised of just what little minor nuances that you miss out on a higher quality stream than a lower quality.
Now, here's the funny part to me. So, a couple years ago, got into collecting vinyl albums.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really like about vinyl is their lack of quality. Because you hear all the static and you hear all the
popses and the hisses. And,
Yep. And that's vinyl's huge right now.
Right.
It's making a huge comeback. So at the time when Spotify says people want better quality, vinyl, which is probably the poorest quality, is also on the rise. Interesting. Two different ends of the spectrum there.
The act of compressing something down though does maybe take away a little bit of something.
Now, it does. Now, here's what I do know one fact about albums and vinyl collecting. A gentleman I ran into in a vinyl store, he was rifling through these, albums. And they're not called records. They're called albums, by the way. He corrected me on that as well. I'm like, hey, what is a record? And he's like, well, let's start off by these are albums. And I was like, okay. But one of the things, I was like, you know your stuff. He's like, yeah. So we started talking about it. And one of the things he told me was that in albums on vinyl, the songs are longer because once they compressed them into CDs, they had to cut out parts of the song. So somewhere, he said, for instance, for every 10 seconds, there's a quarter of a second missing.
Right.
And in a 3-minute song, that adds up to, X amount of seconds of song just gone because when it compresses down, anything similar gets blurred.
Right.
The same as the photo. So the reason JPEG photos are so popular is because they merge pixels.
Right.
So it'll take 4 pixels that are similar and merge them into 1 pixel, and then that compresses them essentially, and that's the compression factor. So he said that you'll hear more of a song on vinyl, and it'll be more accurate.
Wow.
And that long songs like 7-minute songs are missing a lot. Well, I mean, comparatively. But,
Right.
And I was like, that's an interesting factor. So
I had no idea.
yeah.
Yeah, hence why now people are saying they want this higher quality for reasons just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with the record, the little clicks and pops are kind of like, some people, nice, like gives you a warm feeling, but the more compressed stuff maybe just feels a little more cold and digital and not, doesn't have that kind of
Raw
analog
feel.
feel,
Yeah.
that people like.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
agree.
wonder how much more data you're going to burn up.
It'll be a considerable amount. It'll be interesting to see how much more data you will use. Now, as far as pricing goes, Spotify promised more details coming soon about which select markets that'll get the HIFI service later this year, and it's likely the price of HIFI subscription will be more than the $9.99 Spotify Premium cost right now.
Huh.
So to give you an idea, you guys know I use Tidal, and they charge, I think it's like $14.99 or $19.99 a month, and all the other services right now that are currently offering hi-fi streaming services, they charge at least $14.99 per month or more.
So why do you use Tidal? Remind me. I know we talked about it, but I
Because
forget.
it came free with my Sprint subscription.
Okay. Now, will you pay for it?
Well, Sprint pays for it.
No, I mean, you have it free forever?
Yeah,
Oh,
until I
okay.
change my plan or whatever.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind then.
Yeah, because when Cena and we signed up for Sprint, one of the bundle deals was we got Hulu with the paid Hulu with the commercials plus Tidal
Yeah.
for free.
Huh.
Now, if I want the hi-fi Tidal, I have to pay for that. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm like you, Dave. I'm good
Yeah.
with what I got.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't miss it. I don't care. I'm running anyway. I mean, by the time I run and I can't breathe anyway and I don't go very fast, the quality of the music really doesn't have any impact.
Right.
I'm just trying to get air into my lungs.
I understand.
So, Justin, what do you use?
I don't currently have any sort of streaming. I mean, I've
You-
got a YouTube subscription, so I can use their YouTube music if I wanted to, but
You don't like Spotify is free still, right?
Yeah, they still have a free
Yeah,
tier.
free, and you got to do the commercials.
yeah, I can't deal with the commercials, and I don't want to pay, so
Oh, jeez.
how-
Can't deal with the commercials?
no way.
Huh?
Yeah, I've done the headphones in while running at times, but then
Yeah.
more often than not, I just don't even feel like messing with it, so I just put that off.
Now for
So
you,
yeah, I'm more podcasts than, I mean, that's what I stream more than anything, more than music.
Yeah.
for YouTube music, how big's the library? I mean, is there anything on there that you have not found?
No, it's pretty crazy extensive. Even some stuff that I had never heard of and looked into and was on there, that
Huh.
obscure stuff from like the 90s and stuff.
Nice. Well, from the 90s. Listen
Yeah.
to you. Oh boy. Look around this wall, Justin.
Yeah, not a whole lot of 90s.
Well, I just say, how many do you recognize? I
Posters.
mean, come on.
Yeah, might have to have a music spin-off podcast, get me educated.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Gosh. 90s.
Listen to this album, come back and.
You've heard of the Beastie Boys, right?
Yep.
Okay. Steve Earle. You know who Steve Earle is?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Really? You gotta look up Steve Earle, Copperhead Road.
All right,
His live performance is one of the best I've seen.
putting it on my list.
Jeez. Steve Earle.
Copperhead. Got it.
Steppenwolf. You know who Steppenwolf is? Werewolf in London.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Janis Joplin.
Yep.
Okay. Run DMC.
Yep.
That's 90s for you. Okay.
Yeah, Run DMC and Aerosmith.
So Dave, when you run, do you just basically tell Spotify, give me a random song? Just start
No,
playing?
I have a playlist I went through. Kale, my son Kale went through and developed me a playlist and it's just a workout playlist, and I just play it. I'll play it real low in the
Yeah,
background.
the playlist you can access on Spotify, I'm always impressed with. There's just so many, so many out there that people.
Yeah, there's all
put
kinds
together.
of playlists, and then like I say, Kel did my own for me because he just went through and said, "Tell me some of your favorite," and he knew what I like to listen to. So
And you're always streaming with it, or do you download to your phone?
it's just stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it easy. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So no buys on the
I'm not paying
Spotify
extra.
Hi-Fi.
No, gosh, no.
Probably wouldn't even work around here unless you're
You know, that's a good point. You'd have to be somewhere that has decent
Internet.
have your
internet.
little booster with you.
Yeah.
Cell booster.
Yeah.
Wonder how long that's going to take to get nationwide. Sounds like they're slowly rolling it out.
Yeah, they're
Select
slowly rolling
places.
out. So it's funny that you bring it up, and you're talking about 5G, right?
Oh, just the Spotify Premium.
Oh, the Spotify
Hi-Fi.
Premium, the Hi-Fi service.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't say yet on which markets. I'm going to say the U.S. will be one of the first.
Mm-hmm. California, obviously, first.
Yeah, I'm going to speculate it's probably going to go nationwide. It may be, U.S., Europe, and maybe like China, because those are kind of the three big markets.
Huh. Okay. Oh, you're thinking it'll go nationwide, pretty much. From the
Yeah.
get-go. Not like only in certain cities or anything.
No, with this, I think it'll go nationwide, and then it'll branch out from there.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that's usually the way they work now. They could prove me wrong, but all data I do have says otherwise. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on this, and we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm still amazed that that's Spotify's most requested thing.
Yeah.
I wonder though if that's just because they're pretty daggone good, and if you're going to, you know what I mean? Like people are like, tell us what we can do better, and it's got to be something. And they're like, man, all right, improve quality then, just because that's, what else would you improve?
Right. Well, Tidal's had it for a couple of years. Amazon has it. They've had it for at least a year or two.
So then it must be viable.
Yes. So I mean, for Spotify to jump on board and say, yeah, we're going to do it too, there must be some kind of money in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's just a number of people out there they have the speakers that could be playing at a higher quality rate, and they're kind of frustrated that the app itself is the bottleneck there and limiting. It's like, I spent all this money on these speakers and I'm not really getting high quality.
Yeah, spend $500 to $1,000 or more on a home theater system, and I'm listening to low quality music.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. Well, Spotify. What's it called again? Just Wi-Fi?
Spotify Hi-Fi.
Hi-Fi. Yeah,
Subscription.
high fidelity subscription. All right.
Yes.
For everybody out there using Spotify, you want to ramp it up a notch.
Yep.
It's coming.
Pay more money. Yeah. it's
Coming
on its way.
soon.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. All right. And then I forget what the second one was.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. Gosh, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about T-Mobile. And you're a T-Mobile Sprint guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And this one,
Lay it on us.
this one actually has me excited because
And we have a local T-Mobile Sprint store, so yeah.
yes. So, it's no secret I've been a Sprint customer for I think about 2 years, a little over a year now.
Yeah.
Or more. And the one thing I told you guys when T-Mobile first took over was I'm not real impressed with their plans.
Right.
This is going to change it.
Ooh.
Yes.
Joe's changing plans.
Well, no, I'm not changing my plan yet. I'm just saying I like the direction this is going.
Right.
So T-Mobile lowers price of its 5G unlimited wireless plans and boosts hotspot data allowance.
Okay. That's always good.
So their new, what they call the Magenta Max plan, priced the same as T-Mobile's current Magenta Plus plan, which is what it's going to replace, is going to be about $47 per line per month for 3 lines with auto pay, taxes and fees included for a limited time. The new plan includes unlimited 5G and 4G premium data, more hotspot data, 4K video streaming, and a free Netflix subscription for each line.
Nice.
So a single line under the Magenta Max will cost $85, but each additional line brings the price down to, with auto pay, around $47 per potential line. So it's one of those, the more you get, the cheaper, better deal they can cut you.
And how many gigs for the hotspot?
I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I wasn't sure if I missed it.
And this plan's also available for small businesses that can cover up to 12 employees.
Really?
Yes. So the new plan will include unlimited talk, text, data, 40 gig of hotspot of data, up from 20 on its current plan, and the improvement of 4K video from HD, plus free scam blocking and caller ID. Which I'm really tickled with this, because this is almost the same plan that I have when I was a Sprint customer. The only difference is we had the unlimited talk, text, and data, but Cena and I each had 50 gig of hotspot, not 40. And we had Tidal and Hulu instead of Netflix. But still, I mean, this is a great step in the direction of T-Mobile, so I'm excited.
40 gigs of hotspot. Now, what if you get it? Does it say anything about, like, if you get the little hotspot box?
No, I'm going to assume that this is where
That
you use
doesn't
your phone.
include that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's
because I know
separate
that's a
gig.
big issue right now, especially with all the kids doing the
Remote
virtual learning and
Yep.
everything. If you don't have internet service like Suddenlink, like at my house, I don't have it. Like Suddenlink does not come to my house, which is crazy. I'm on a main road.
Right.
Or if from here in West Virginia, you live up a holler somewhere, you might not have access to that
Right.
to high-speed internet. Then the hotspot's your next best bet.
Or satellite.
Yeah, and satellite's rough as well. But
Right.
hotspot's usually the cheaper way out. But it doesn't.
More reliable as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't include enough gigs to do everything you'd want to do, especially if you got a kid that wants to play video games or whatever the case may be.
Right. And actually, as you guys know, I'm part of the Roane County Broadband
Yeah,
Committee.
yeah.
And this is one of the big...
You got to get to work, Joe. You don't have internet yourself.
Oh, I know, but it's in process.
Yeah.
And I could go on a tangent and give you an update on all that, but that's...
For folks that aren't familiar with West Virginia, it's in process for the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, but...
I mean, I blame the state officials, our legislators, just because they gave so much money to Frontier and Verizon. I think it's Frontier originally, to put in fiber optics everywhere, and it just never got done.
Well, that was on Frontier.
Well, the legislators gave them money and didn't follow up.
Which is why... So
I mean, yeah, it's on Frontier, but our legislators did not follow up.
Okay, so you're turning down this road, so we might as well just go ahead.
All right,
and
go
down this
ahead.
road.
Lay it on me, Joe.
So we have a Facebook page. It's the Roane County.
And don't get me wrong,
Broadband.
our Roane County Broadband Committee, I remember when it was Matt Erb and
Lisa Messinio.
John Norman. Oh, shoot. There's another guy who's in there. Huh. Anyway, the 3 or 4 folks, they have continually lobbied and pushed to get broadband here in a couple counties, Roane, Clay, Calhoun, Wirt, and have just worked their tails off.
Right.
But it's just, it's such an uphill battle because there's no teeth at the legislative level. They just keep giving subsidiaries to these fiber optic companies, and they don't make them actually follow through.
Right.
So I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Yes. So back in December, and the committee we're on is the Roane County Broadband Enhancement Council, and basically, well, it's just a group of people, individuals and companies coming together to try to get broadband into Roane County. So actually, there is some good news on that. Back in December, there was an auction. The FCC, the government, held what they called an RDOF, or Rural Digital Opportunity Fund auction. It was a reverse auction, and companies would submit the lowest bid on buying an area to bring broadband in.
Yeah.
And if they won that auction, the government would help fund that area. So luckily in Roane County, and if you go on the Roane County Broadband Enhancement Council's Facebook page, we actually have the picture of the maps of what all won in Roane County. The parts that looks like just the map itself, those are areas that's already considered by the FCC as taken care of.
Right.
Which...
Am I in that area by chance? Are you in that area?
Yes and no. But
Well,
but here's the issue. So this opens up a whole other can of worms, and this is based off of what the federal government, and the FCC regulations say. So our job is to ensure that everybody in Roane County has broadband access, not just what the government says. So luckily, in Roane County, CityNet won a huge chunk, and I'll show you guys here. So here's Roane County, and see all this mustard yellow?
Yep.
CityNet won those areas.
Really?
Yes, which is a good thing, because see that ugly little red blotch at the bottom of the county?
Yep.
That's Frontier. But, so, as you were discussing, Frontier is the same as useless.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. They've already robbed the state.
Yeah.
And I don't blame the local workers. Our local workers work their tails off with what they got. It's at the federal level, and it streams down to the state level, and then, Frontier's administration. If they're listening, please do your job.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, our local technicians.
Oh, yeah.
They've been dealt a bad hand, so they played the best hand you got, and they're going,
Oh, yeah.
So they're catching grief, and they're basically the messenger. They're the middleman, and
yeah.
they're the one catching all the grief. So anyway, luckily, when I talked about it a couple weeks ago of Shelley Moore Capito working with the FCC saying, don't give Frontier a dime of this. They'll just waste the money, and you'll never get anything out of it.
Yep, she was part of the first group that gave them money and didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, and she's finally realized now, going, So she's saying, don't give them a dime. They've filed for bankruptcy. They have done nothing but waste away all the money that they've ever gotten, so don't give them a dime. So luckily, she's actually on board with this. So we're anxious to see where all that falls out. But with CityNet buying into the county, that's actually going to help speed up the process, because CityNet is going to have a certain time period. And like I said, at this point, we don't have an exact timeline of how much time it is before you start seeing people getting wired up. But it's coming, and it's in process. So our job is, not so much with this RDOF, but one of the main goals that we was trying to look into was, if, as a committee, if we was going to actually start coming into an agreement with a company to bring internet into the area, they was going to have to sign a agreement saying, okay, if you come to this area, you're going to have to meet these requirements, and if you draw a circle on the map that says, okay, we're going to cover every house in this area, guess what? You better cover every area in that house in that area, because here's what the FCC requires. They require the internet service providers to map out the areas that they cover. And literally all they have to do is, if they have one house, and what they do, they base it off census blocks. So if they have one house in a census block that they serve, that whole area is considered served.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why we're screaming that those maps are bull, and at the federal level, people like Shelley Moore Capito are going saying, hey, these maps are bull, and Joe Manchin's saying these maps are bull, and that's why you always see people asking to submit your speed test to help prove, saying, hey, these maps are bunk. They aren't worth anything. These internet providers are feeding you lies. Here's where the internet starts. Here's where it stops, and they say it keeps going. It doesn't.
Huh.
So CityNet, they would be doing fiber optic?
Yeah, well, they'll. I can't. Like I said, this part here is purely on my assumption. Mm-hmm. But in the way the trends are going, everybody's running fiber. Fiber is the way to go. So CityNet will more than likely just start running a fiber line. And the way the map looks, since they've pretty much covered Roane County, it'll probably it'll start on one end and come through. It looks like it's going to come up 119 and on both ends of 33 and 14 as well.
Is that an underground wire? Or?
I think it all depends on what kind of deals or agreements they have on the telephone poles, the utility poles.
That's crazy to me, too. I don't understand why we're not running electric line underground.
Well, that was just out of left field.
Well, with the whole storm and lines get knocked down, people without power for weeks on end.
Yeah, I just read a story that West Virginia leads the nation in lingering power outages after ice storms.
Oh, it's everywhere. I just mean, it'd be so. I hate to say it, but they dig up water line all the time. They're always putting in drains along the roads and stuff. Why not just bite the bullet and start laying the power underground? And I've seen it over at Ripley. The city of Ripley, when they did their streetscape project, they put all their city electric lines underground. So no more telephone poles or electric wires in the city of Ripley. And it looks fantastic. You go into other small towns and you got wires running everywhere. So next time you guys drive through Spencer, just take a look at how many electric lines are running everywhere.
Yeah, I can
It's
picture
crazy.
it, yeah.
And and Ripley did a really good job. They took advantage of that streetscape project to do that.
I've not given it much thought, but yeah, if you go through Ripley, you don't see, or at least on the 33 right into Ripley there.
Nope, no power lines.
Yeah, you don't see any. That I never gave that a thought.
Yeah, and then you think about all the times that power goes out because trees fall on it.
Yeah.
And all the work they have to do to clear it, and all the work they have to do to clear the trees and clear the brush off of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy amount of time and money. And I know somebody somewhere just saying, just keep pushing it down the road, push it down the road. But man, bite the bullet, take care of it.
CityNet, that's a name I hadn't heard in a long time.
Yeah, it's
I didn't realize they were still around.
Yeah, they. I think they still do a lot of work in Charleston and based out of the areas like that. But
I think
yeah.
they used to do dial-up back in the day, didn't they?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then they actually moved into DSL and stuff like that. But the problem with a lot of that, I think a lot of that they got out of because they could offer the service, but if they didn't own the lines, you still falling back into Frontier's lap.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other separate issue that, you can buy your internet service through any company, but if Frontier owns that copper line coming into your residence, guess what? You still have to deal with Frontier regardless of who you pay your bill to. But luckily, CityNet will own the fiber lines, and I have not heard half as much bad press, or I haven't even heard a minuscule amount of bad press on CityNet as I have Frontier. So I'm excited to see what happens, how this pans out, both as a member of the broadband committee and as well as a person that direly needs.
Yeah, it's crazy
broadband.
that you and I live along a main route.
I can see the pole where Suddenlink ends.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I called them probably a month ago and was like, hey, how do I get on? And then the lady's like, yeah, it's not possible. I was like, how is it not possible? We live in a day and an age when we just landed a Mars rover and we're getting pictures back in 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I can't get Suddenlink from a pole that I can see,
Yeah.
literally see from my porch. And it's not like see it 2 miles away. It's 100 yards.
Yeah.
And that's not possible. I think it's crazy.
Well, they told me, they said, yeah, we could do it for $39,000. I was like, for me, you're not doing it for $39,000.
That's bunk too. I mean, there's already.
Well, they got to run fiber. It'd be a new fiber run.
Yeah, but
So.
still.
Well, here's the real
39,000.
kicker. When Sprint ran their fiber line,
Yeah.
they put a junction box right on my neighbor's pole,
Uh-huh.
and I can see the junction box.
Uh-huh.
And so now when I call Suddenlink, because according to their website, I can have service. So I signed up, and they come out, and they'll look at that pole and look at that junction box, and then come up and say, no, we can't tap into that because Sprint paid for that.
Oh, boy.
Well, then update your website and stop telling me you can give me the service, or I will go on your website every month and sign up for the service just so you come out here and waste, so I can waste your time because you're wasting mine.
Yeah. Craziness.
And so you would take a main line and run it all the way through the county and then just branch off from there with
Yeah,
different
basic.
junction boxes or
Yeah, basically like how basically same thing as like electricity.
Mhm.
Now, like Google, when they started putting in fiber optic, they ran fiber to people's houses. Like they dig a trench in your yard, and that is like the ideal situation, to just having fiber piped right into your house. I mean, because there's literally no bottleneck, no breakdown. It's just there.
Mhm.
So, and what a lot of companies are doing is when they bring in fiber optic, if they upgrade your internet to the fiber optic stuff, they'll cut your copper phone line and then make you use fiber, because there's no money in copper anymore, so the
Yeah.
telecom companies are losing money hand over fist on copper, and they're trying to move everything to fiber.
Interesting. So I like how you led us down this rabbit hole when you were talking about T-Mobile.
Yeah. Now wait a minute. I think you was the one to kind of grabbed the steering wheel and said, "Let's go this way," and I said, "Okay." And
I don't recall any of that.
And Justin was just along for the ride.
Yeah, Justin, where are you at on this one, buddy? You're supposed to keep us on track.
I was just trying to find the thread and get back, but I couldn't. Where did we start? How did we get back?
Yeah. All right. Well, for your third update, you got a little update about Microsoft Office.
Yes.
I don't know if it's little or not, but an update about Microsoft Office.
Yes. So, Microsoft Office 2021 is coming later this year. So, if you're wanting the latest version of Microsoft Office, it's coming. It'll be released later this year for both Windows and Mac. So, Microsoft confirmed it will launch Office 2021, the latest version of its productivity suite of apps of Word, Excel, and others later this year for personal and small business use.
What's the last year they had?
2019. So it actually surprised me. Cena and I had this discussion last night that they typically go every 3 years.
Yeah.
So why they're doing 2 years, I don't know.
Huh. I don't even know what version we're using.
I do know, but I won't say it on the air.
Yeah.
Just for...
Because it's so old?
Well, I think it's still... Well, hold on.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't... It's not 19. I know that. Interesting. But, so...
I wonder how much it'll change up, how much frustration it'll cause.
Hold on. Let's go back to the actual year.
Okay,
I wonder how much conversation they had where they said, hey, let's avoid 2020 at all costs.
Exactly.
There's no way we can name this train wreck of 2020 into computer software.
Okay, so you're still under security. So, yeah, you're using Office 2013.
Oh,
so,
gosh. That's what I thought.
But you're still under patch updates and all that, security patch updates till 2023. So you're good.
Okay.
So I won't have to preach at you, and you got 2 more years before I start jumping up and down and screaming.
Yeah. Okay.
So Microsoft said they will support Office 2021 for 5 years under the one-time purchase model, where owners can pay a single one-time cost for the software.
Well, hold on. Let me go back.
Okay.
So we're under 2013. Do we get all the updates? Like, is it updated to 2019, I guess?
No, because you don't have Office 365.
Okay. So
you get the security updates, but you don't get the
feature updates.
Yes.
Am I missing out? What am I missing, Joe?
More bells and whistles.
Okay. Yeah. So nothing.
Basically.
Okay. My IT guy doing work.
Now, see, now we have Office 365. We absolutely love it.
Really?
Yes.
What's the difference? What do you love about it that's different than like what we have?
The cost isn't that bad. I mean, we signed up under the old plan, so it's like $8 a month.
Right.
And anytime there's a new version, so when 2021 comes out, I don't have to go buy another license.
Mm-hmm.
I just click download and it downloads. So we have that. Plus we have a terabyte of cloud storage with OneDrive, so we can actually sync files back and forth, and absolutely love that.
Nice. Okay.
Well, the main reason we did that was just from a cost factor, because Cena and I, at the time we was both running Office 2010, and 2010 was reaching end of life, so there was no longer going to support it. And to upgrade, at the time we had like 3 laptops, or 3 computers, no 4 computers to upgrade, and at $250 a pop, that adds up real quick. Like, so I was sitting there doing the math. I said, well, if that cost, we could do Office 365. Yeah, you're going to pay it every month, but it's going to be cheaper in the long run. So when anytime a new version comes out, I don't have to buy the new version every time. So that was the main reason we went to it.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think this computer has Microsoft.
Probably not.
It says Office. Fall under Office. Nope, it's trying to get me to buy it. Yep. Yeah. Recording studio computer doesn't need it, I guess.
Exactly.
All
That's
right.
why I didn't load it.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Be that way. Okay.
So new version of Office is coming on its way.
And skip 2020 no matter what.
Exactly. We don't even talk about that.
Yeah. Cool. What kind of impact do you think that'll have? I mean, are you with 365? You're gonna download it as soon as it comes out, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And just to see what happens. Hey, I'm the IT guy. I have to do that
Yeah,
just to see
yeah.
what happens, so I don't get blindsided of 40 calls coming in and saying, "Hey, this doesn't work," because I've ran into that before with Windows updates. There was a Windows update. That's been probably a couple years ago. It actually broke network share drives.
Yeah.
So I had one customer call and say, "Hey, I can't access the network," and looked, and sure enough, it was a network drive that went offline, broken by the most recent update that I installed the day before. Literally got that one fixed, hung up the phone. Another customer called. "Yeah, we can't access our network shares," and looked, and sure enough, they had the same update. I said, "Oh," so I looked like I knew what I was talking about. I said, "Oh yeah, it's an update. Let me uninstall this update and it'll fix it."
Nice. Okay. Well, we covered a lot of ground here.
We did, and a lot of what we hadn't planned for, but that's the way we do this show.
Yeah, and it's funny because we always talk about looking out for consumers and shopping local and all that good jazz that comes with that. And what in your mind, how much of an impact has having local business had for you during COVID? Because I know a lot of people shop Amazon.
Right.
Walmart, you can order from Walmart online now, and I'm sure that's impacted their businesses in a major way.
Right.
Has it affected you as a small business?
Actually, now when COVID first started, it got scary because there was too many question marks where there should be periods. But as things started opening back up and people started getting a little more comfortable, we started picking back up steam and was actually get back to just about as busy as we was beforehand. But our biggest issue through all of COVID was availability of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not just parts for repairs, but just inventory in general and for any kind of project. When COVID first started, all these big companies were sending their employees home with a laptop, so that was a perfect storm of mess, because when COVID hit, all the manufacturers hadn't got their new inventory in yet. So from November to the end of December, the manufacturers always do a year-end clearance to get rid of all last year's inventory. COVID hits China January. China shuts down their factories down to half staff. And then that's where we was talking about, it was going to take weeks to get an iPhone in.
Yeah.
So manufacturers hadn't had time to get their new laptops in or whatever. Then March, boom, COVID hits here. So we're limited on inventory already, and everybody's just grabbing what they can. And I had at least 2 customers that waited almost 2 months to get a laptop in.
I remember when webcams were hard to find.
Oh yeah, I checked last week. Last week is the first time since all this started that I was actually on one of my distributors' websites, and they actually had like 70 of the Logitech webcams in stock.
Wow.
That's the first time.
Yeah.
Because I ordered 4 the week everything shut down. I got 2 in August, 1 in September, and 1 in December.
That's a crazy deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand how it all works. I remember that show. We were talking about it, and that's back when we still had students here.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the panic because people were going to have to wait 2 and 3 weeks to get their new cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I think it's going to get worse. And I was like, we'll see. By golly. What a good call, Joe.
Yeah, that's when you started calling me Joe the Prophet, and I just kind of laughed, and it's like, oh. And it was funny when I started moving our old shows over to our new platform, Anchor.fm.
Yeah.
I was listening to a couple of them as I was doing it, and I was like, holy cow, I had no idea what I was talking about. Because
didn't realize the extent.
Yeah, because I was reading, because I was going back and listening to it. It's like, okay, yeah, I knew we talked about like it was going to be bad, like it was going to be like weeks to get an iPhone in, but man, how ignorant were we?
It's crazy.
Had no clue of how bad it was going to be. How bad it was going to be.
Yeah, it's amazing how that stuff pans out. What do you think will be next? You want to make a Prophet Joe call here?
Not right now.
Justin, you got any ideas on what the next deal's going to be?
In terms of shortages, or
Yeah, shortages in technology. With the next thing people are going to look at, because you said you're a big podcast guy, and I think podcasts are still growing, right?
Oh, it's huge.
So it's getting bigger.
yeah, everybody and their mother has one now. It seems like
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is selectivity good or bad?
cream rises to the top, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
So I think we're
Way
more like
more
the
out
kernel. we slowly get to the top.
yeah.
What do you think the most popular podcast platform is?
See, that's kind of a loaded question because all of them have shot up so fast. Just by our numbers of our viewership on our shows, Spotify is the biggest.
Really?
Yeah. Our biggest audience is on Spotify, which is crazy because I thought it would be like Apple or Google, but Spotify is just blowing it all out of water.
Yeah, I always just use the Apple default.
So, okay, they're saying here you go, 15 best, and this is just me Googling it. Let me get to the list. All right, top picks: Buzzsprout, which I've never even heard of.
No.
Spreaker, like speaker but with an R in there.
Nope.
Transistor, Podbean, Simplecast, Captivate, Castos, Podcastics, Fusebox, and Audio Boom.
I've heard a couple.
I've never heard of any of those.
I've heard a couple of those only because some of our listeners actually listen on those platforms. They show up on our analytics.
Yeah.
But until then, I hadn't heard of them.
Huh. Yeah, it says Buzzsprout, been in business since 2009, has over 100,000 podcasters, and they have a totally free plan with unlimited team member accounts.
Huh.
You can embed a podcast player right in your website.
Ooh. Well, I have to say, I'm completely impressed, and we could probably do an episode on it and review it, our Anchor.fm.
Yeah. It says you can easily add episode chapter markers. So the free plan, you can upload 2 hours each month.
Okay.
We'd blow right through that.
Yeah.
$12 a month, you get 3 hours a month. $18 gets you 6 hours. $24 gets you 12 hours.
Okay.
As far as I know, Anchor doesn't charge us anything. I mean, as far that I found, I moved every episode we ever had on over to Anchor, and so far never have hit you've reached your limit for the month or whatever. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is why Anchor is actually owned by Spotify.
Ah.
So that explains why Spotify's our biggest audience.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Let's see where we are. Most popular podcasts. Anybody want to guess the most popular podcast? You guys know anything about
it? It was Adam Carolla at one time, but I don't know if he's still on top or not.
Rogan.
Yeah, Seth
The
Rogen
Daily is number 1 by New York Times. Mm-hmm. NPR News Now, number 2. Up First by NPR is number 3. Then Ben Shapiro, number 4. Mm-hmm. Stuff You Should Know, 5. Dateline, NBC, 6. This American Life, Dan Bongio, CNN, NPR Politics, Pardon My Take. Yeah. Wait, don't tell me. I kind of remember that. Mm-hmm. Man, NPR's got a bunch.
Yeah.
So Edison Research, the leading podcast research organization for over 15 years, said in 2020 that number 1 podcast was the Joe Rogan Experience.
Huh. This is top podcasts by U.S. audiences, January 2021.
Okay, well, this was overall for the year 2020.
Yeah. NPR has 6 of the top 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. They've been practicing at that sort of format for however long. 30 years or something, 40.
Yeah. That's an easy deal for them. Nice. Okay. Why are we not in the top 20, boys?
Apparently, we just haven't hit our vibe yet. Well, they say the first 1,000's the hardest to get, so we're getting there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got a product review for us.
Yes, I do.
Let's jump right into it.
Okay, so last week I covered the Wyze Lock.
Right.
So this week I'm going to cover the accessory that you can buy for your Wyze Lock called the Wyze Lock Keypad.
Yeah, and you can bundle these for about $118 from Wyze.
Yes.
I
Or
already pulled it up and looked at it for you.
well, now I got a better deal. I found it on Black Friday and got both for $100. So
Ooh, nice.
yeah, that's the reason I got it.
Yeah. Do you have any of those for sale?
No, I do not.
You're not. Oh, that's right. You're not a Wyze distributor yet. are
No,
you?
they won't let that. I haven't found a way to get my foot in the door yet. Yet I'm dying to do so. So Wyze, here we go again. This is free publicity. Okay, so the Wyze Lock Keypad,
Yeah.
as Dave said, it costs around $20.
Well, hold on. Let's go back. So the lock was last week, and
Yes.
just in case people didn't catch that one, you gave it a pretty good rating, right? 4.5.
Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 stars. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 stars. So really good rating from you. That's
Yeah, I
You're a
think
pretty tough critic.
And I think that was our lowest Wyze rating so
Yep.
far. So I'll tell you how. And we rate on a 5-star scale. So if anybody's going, well, 4's not really high. 4 out of 5 is.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Especially for you because you're a tech guy and you're very critical of tech stuff.
Right.
And yeah, so four on your books is like high quality.
Exactly. So.
All right. So this is the keypad that goes with that lock.
So, this keypad, it is 100% wire-free,
Yeah.
so there's no wires you have to do. It has one-touch lock, so when you leave, it actually has a button that you can just push that it will automatically lock the door for you. And here's what I really like. It has, you can use, with the app on your phone, you can use time-based guest codes. So you can create and share codes with family, friends, or contractors, configure them to work on different days at different times. And that's where it works with your phone. You'll get notified because Cena and I, we have our own codes. My mom and dad have their own code, and Bethany, who works for us, she has her own code as well. And I can configure them to say, only mom and dad's allowed in, these certain days at these certain times or whatever. And you can actually create like a one-time use to code. So if Justin comes out and needs to pick something up at the office, I can just text and say, hey, use this code. He unlocks the door, takes care of business, leaves, and as soon as he shuts that door back, his code's no longer valid.
How many numbers are in a code usually?
You can, I think it said up to 8, I think. But here's where it's really cool. You can have, it uses a secure code entry. So let's say you and I go up to the office, and I don't want you to know what my code is. I can actually punch in numbers before and after my actual code, and it still lets me in, and you don't know what my code is.
So you can do random numbers, but as long as you hit the right code in sequence, it'll...
Right. So let's say my code is 1 2 3 4, which it's not. I could put 0 0 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Hit unlock. The door unlocks. And Justin's going, how in the world do you remember that long password? And I just say, I'm that good.
Yeah.
Or you could just use your phone also. It's not.
Yeah.
You can use either one at any
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Okay.
So it's it has an LED backlight, so when you walk up to it, you can actually push a button and actually see the buttons light up at night. And it's weatherproof. The Wyze Lock Keypad is IPX5 weather related, which means it's built to withstand the elements.
Now, on the Wyze website, I looked on their forum here, and a guy actually took one of the outdoor outlets
Okay.
that has the flip-up cover,
Yes, I
and
saw
he
that.
embedded it inside that to protect it and keep it.
Yeah, add an extra layer of protection.
And you wouldn't even notice that was a keypad to get in the door.
Yeah, it just looked like an outdoor outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's amazing. That is awesome. I saw that last night while I was working on notes for the show. And as soon as I seen it, I was like, oh, that is perfect.
Well, and one of the things that I thought about and what I liked about this was I was like, what would keep someone from coming along and just jerking it off your wall and taking it, even if they couldn't use it necessarily?
Yeah, just to be a jerk.
Yeah, and this guy said this is how he's protecting that.
Yeah, how he's remedied that, because anybody walk up to it go, oh, he just has a electric outlet high up on his wall and just leave it at that.
Yep.
What kind of batteries does it use?
AA. Yeah, I think it's 2 AA it takes.
So, okay, and I'm sure you're going to get into this, but tell us a little bit more about the details. Battery life, stuff like that.
Okay, so I used, last week I said that the batteries that came with the lock didn't last hardly any time, the batteries out of the package. The keypad uses even less battery power, so I used the batteries that came with the keypad, and that was in beginning of December, and here we are almost right at the end of February, and I'm still using those original batteries, and this has gone through 2 ice storms and two snowstorms and ice storms, stuff like that the cold temperature should have drained that battery, and it's still going strong.
Huh. Yeah.
It's pretty handy being able to create a one-time use thing when you're away. Just saves the whole actually giving a physical key to someone or having to actually go let somebody in.
Yeah, because when I set it up, I told Cena, I said, text Bethany and ask her what she wants her code to be. So Bethany just texted her code back, and I put it in the system. I said, okay, you're ready to go. So next time she came to the office, she unlocked the door, and my phone went off immediately. It said, Bethany has unlocked the door.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I have, in my house, I have one of the keypad doorknobs.
Yeah.
And those are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't do anything from your phone. If you want to change it, you got to enter the whole code, which I didn't know it, so I had to take it apart last time. I wanted to change it and get that serial number of code so that I could enter it in to change a code.
Right.
So it's a real pain. Being able to do this on your phone is awesome. So, all right. Well, Joe, I think you should, supply Justin and I with these, and we'll try them out, and we'll do our own product review.
Well, I'd be more than happy to supply these because you have to have the lock for it to work.
Well, it comes in a bundle, so you can bundle this up, man.
Okay, we'll get the information from Cena, and we'll get you taken care of.
Oh man, Cena.
Joe the bundler, we call him.
I'm gonna call Cena and say, Joe said this is okay.
Now she's gonna call you out on that because she knows better.
Yeah, I know. Huh. Okay. All right, you want to start out with pros?
Yeah, the pros. The price, $20. Like I said, I lucked out and got it on Black Friday, but still, the $20 is definitely worth it.
Well, and that's if you've already paid for the lock.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this thing has stopped me from having to take the office keys with me and lose it along the way because I am the world's worst about setting something down and not having any idea where I set it down at. So this has saved me from getting into trouble a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So, ease of use.
Yeah, easy to install, easy to sync, easy to operate.
And the backlit thing, you said, like it doesn't sense your hand and light up. You actually have to push a button to get it to light up.
Yeah, you just have to push a button for
They're
it
all
to
like that, yeah.
Hit any button and it lights up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guest codes, I love the guest code feature. The backlight, I love it, and the secure code entry. That was a big seller for me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so I could have somebody stand there with me, and they think that they're
like, holy cow, he's got 15 digits.
That or oh well, I now know his code, and then they come back and try. It's like, nope. So I'm a big fan of that.
Now, when you enter your code, how long does it stay unlocked for? Is it locked back automatically?
I have mine to auto lock as soon as you shut the door. So it'll unlock, and then when you open the door and you walk in, as soon as you shut that door, it locks back immediately. Yeah,
because like on mine, you enter the code and you get like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And if you didn't open the door, like you're carrying groceries, and you hit the number, and then you got to stumble and then try to open the door, and then it locks back on you, it's a real pain.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Now, this one, I do notice that it does require you to, as soon as you unlock it, to open the door within a few seconds, because then it will start beeping at you saying the door's ajar, there's something going on with the door. So, yeah, it does do that because it was doing that last week.
Yeah, but it stays unlocked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but it beeps
Mine locks back.
Well, it'll stay unlocked until you actually open it and close the door.
Okay, good. All right, and that's 2 pros. What else you got? I know you got more.
Oh, that was my whole list.
That's it?
The easy to install. Well, you got to think, Dave, that this thing doesn't
Doesn't
have a
do
lot
a
of
whole
bells
lot,
and
yeah.
whistles. So,
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
so the features, the install, the bells and whistles with it. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
so one con, and this was, I had to scrape the bottom of the barrel of this.
Really?
I went on Wyze website to try to find any cons, and the only cons were people had cons with the lock, so that had nothing to do with the keypad. Same thing on Amazon. My only con, and this was just a very minor annoyance because it's not something I'm going to fool with a lot, was when I mounted the mounting bracket to the wall, I had a little trouble getting the lock to slide into place on the mount. And once I got it slid on there, it stayed and hasn't moved since. I had a little difficulty trying to get that to slide in place when I first installed it, but that was a minor inconvenience. So I can't really, I'm not putting a lot of weight on that. The only reason I put that on the list is because literally that's the only con, and I don't like doing product reviews that don't have any cons.
Yeah.
So when it's on the mount, I mean, if somebody wanted to be mean, could they literally just slide it off the mount and take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But at that point, it's one of those, why would you? I mean, other than just being a jerk.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literally no benefits. It's not like a garage door opener where I could take this and, hey, I could go to the next town over and find somebody with a Wyze Lock and use it with that, because it's not synced with their system. So it's it's kind of fruitless. But we also live in a society that people do stuff like that just to say, hey, I stole this keypad.
Okay.
But as far as like build quality, I mean, it's tough. You think it's gonna last?
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's a solid little piece of.
Yeah, it's solid.
The buttons, do they kind of press in? Do they have a feel to them, or is it?
Yeah, they're like a rubber button, and
you can feel it press in.
Yeah, you can actually feel it press in, and it'll actually make a beeping noise when you press. There was I did see one person online complain about the beeping noise. They said, now when I go in my house, my neighbors know that I go in my house because they can hear the beep. I'm like, now you're just trying to find stuff to complain about.
Yeah, you think with it being so smart, though, maybe that would be an option to be able to disable that if you
right.
Want. That might be a nice feature.
But I was like,
that'll add to the cost. I mean, for $20, holy cow.
Yeah.
I'm amazed, how many moving parts does this thing have, and a computer in it and everything else that goes on. It's $20, yet you scratch or tear up the bumper on your car that's one molded piece of plastic, and it's like $900.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's literally all it is. It's just plastic. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah. It doesn't have any computer in it. Doesn't have any function other than cover up your bumper, and $900. And then you got this piece of technology that has probably 900 parts and $20.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some of that, Justin. You want to add more stuff to it, and it's only $20.
Yeah. I will say, out at the farm, once you put that keypad lock in, that just made everything so much.
Oh yeah, those things are.
Even I remember that was kind of peak COVID time, and we had took like a couple weeks to get that lock in. I thought.
Yeah, it did.
A back order on that. Well, I'm picturing, I'm anticipating a 5-star review here. It sounds like.
Really.
Okay, so Dave, what do you think?
I don't know. You're one con, but I agree with Jess. Not much of a con.
So where do you think this is going to fall on the scale?
Well, do you do like...
Well, online it falls at a 4.3.
Do you do like half stars and 3/4 stars?
I have done half stars before.
Yeah. Now, online, to be fair, is the lock and keypad combined.
Right.
And a lot of complaints with the lock.
Right.
Not a lot, but, a lot of dings on the lock.
Right.
So, keypad, I mean, it's a simple accessory.
Mm-hmm.
But you start off with very easy to do, does what it says it's going to do.
Very valuable.
Yeah, extremely valuable. So how do you not? Okay, so lay it on us, Joe. 5-star rating.
Justin hit the nail on the head. Full 5-star. Joe seal, not only 5-star, but Joe's seal of approval.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So take that and $1 and get your cup of coffee on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, that's impressive. You don't hand out many of those in technology type
No, but
things.
it does seem kind of funny that it's usually associated with the Wyze name.
Well, Wyze are hitting. There are companies out there doing good stuff.
Yeah,
that's what we like, and that's what we like you to bring to us. Awesome. I like it even better if you'd let me try one of these out. I need to lock in the keypad, by the way.
Well, you know where they're at. Good luck trying to get it.
Yeah. I'll start with the keypad.
It's easier to
And
get.
be like, hey, Joe, I need a lock to go to this keypad. It'd be really good if they're already, compatible.
Linked together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, show 51. My goodness. If anybody has any questions, and you got a lot of experience with Wyze products, obviously, and then Microsoft Office is, in your toolkit there, along with Sprint. You're a Sprint customer, Joe, so you got some background knowledge on that as well. And Spotify, that's kind of up in the air. But if anybody has any questions on that stuff, how do they get a hold of you?
You give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com, or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at AM Digital Tech for all that. Or be sure to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review of our podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. And we are on all the major podcast platforms, hosted by Anchor.fm.
Yeah, nice. And I can't encourage folks enough, even if you're not local here to us in West Virginia, Joe and Cena will mail order stuff out to you. So shop local, help out local businesses here, keep them rolling.
Yeah, we do it all the time. We have distributors that will ship straight to your door.
Yeah, so take advantage of that. A&M Digital Technologies, and of course Joe and Cena power all our stuff here at Patch, including this show and our other virtual shows and our virtual learning and all our office computers and all our site computers. So they get 5-star rating from me. Actually, I'm going to go 4.5. Joe, Cena gets 5. You get 4.5.
I would expect anything less.
Just because if Justin and I got more product reviews items from you, then it'd be a different story. But
okay, I just hooked you up with a cell phone booster
and
the tablet screen enhancer, and I haven't set Justin up with anything.
I know,
yet,
he gets
and
nothing.
You're only giving me a 4.5 star.
You're right. I'll give you 4.8.
Okay.
4 3/4.
Now I was gonna say I would expect that Justin, because I haven't hooked him up with anything.
Yeah, he gets nothing. Well, new guy. He's a new guy.
Justin, I would understand the honest critique.
A little bit of shame.
I've actually hooked you up. So
yeah, this is true. This is true. All right. Well, that's our show for today. Help Desk with Joe, and big thanks to Justin for coming and joining us as well. Even though, Justin, you're not really fulfilling your end of the deal by keeping us on track.
Being the adult in the situation.
Yeah.
I think I needed an assistant or something.
I don't know. I think, Justin, if you got
job.
I was gonna say, I think if you got a taser, that might
one of those shot collars.
Yeah.
That might help.
That might keep us on track a little better.
You get a little warning beep, but then after that, you get buzzed.
Then it's on.
Yeah, full 10 setting,
Yeah.
high voltage. Just let's go.
Oh boy. Well, you've been listening to our podcast here, Help Desk with Joe. Thanks for tuning in. This is Justin, myself, and Joe here in our Patch offices in Spencer, West Virginia. And remember to shop local. Many thanks to A&M Digital Technologies and all our local businesses here that help out. And we'll be back next week with show number 52, and this is show 51. So we're making progress through these times, and happy that 2021 is here. Unfortunately, a little bit more of the same, but we'll get through it. So thanks for listening to our podcast, and make sure you get our podcast everywhere you can, and give them that rating and subscribe. And we'll be back with more next week, so tune it out. Everybody have a great week.
And we'll see you then.